weather is good again, so back at it. What's up, RC? Got the plasma mount. I'm going to cut this off all the way across here, and then come to this side and cut it across up here, because I can't figure out how this is attached to here. There's like a little 1x1 tube in there, so I think they might have spot welded it from the top down. So, but I cut that off, so I put the frame back under here and get the back of the frame together. Alright, so it looks like now we got everything cut and trimmed all the way across. I'm just gonna clean it up now. Looking good. Alright, so I gotta notch the grill to go around the frame. So basically I put it up there, put where the frame was at, and I'm just going to go 1 inch up from there, so it's roughly a quarter, so it'd be 1.25 inches, and then I'm just squaring it up on this, and then I'm just going to slide it all the way across, so that way it's even. See how it goes. Those little body saws, the fresh braid, do wonders. Alright, let's go fit it up. Alright, so we start off with 1 inch. And 1 inch brings us just to the bottom. But 1 inch is not enough. Excuse the dog. Someone just set off fireworks. So I guess I jumped the gun. I gotta go back and either trim this down, because down here is where you're supposed to bolt the bumper to before you weld it and everything, and I can't get this bolt in because these end up hitting the welds. So you'd have to trim that because it ends up sliding in and then just butting against that. It won't go in any farther on both sides. So, yep. Alright, so I trimmed it down. But this is what I'm talking about. It sits against that weld and only slides so far. I end up cutting off the points. It's enough to line the bolt up now. So I just have to line these up evenly. This should fit better. Fortunately, I didn't go far enough back to go into there like I thought it would. But it'll work. Alright, yep, so that worked out. Put them both in, tapped them both forward, so it's even on both sides. So now, all my adjustments there, put a bar across there so I can move this up and down. So now I can just level this. Yes, I live in the middle of the woods. That's why I can do this late at night. I have no neighbors. So you can hear owls. Alright. Just about. There. Now let's see how bad the grill's gonna be. Alright, so I bumped it up. It obviously needs to come out about right there. So that's where the grill should be. So moving that, I think that's about as level as I'm going to get for the grill. By doing so, just push that back where it goes. See, and then this side can come in more, but I don't have it tight all the way there. But to get that completely level now, I'll probably have to adjust. That's what changed. So it's up. It looks like. Yeah, so I go up farther. Alright, so now it's level. Was level. Stay. But to get the grill where it's at without chopping it more, because I'm curious about how much space I'm going to lose, I'm now up in the front. So, where before it was sitting on it. So my worry now is if I chop that to go farther down in there, how much hood room am I going to lose to get everything else in here to fit? So I gotta figure that out now. Gotta do some research. Alright, so I know someone that's already done this front half kit on a jeepster. He's gonna get back with me in the morning to show me how much he cut. His looks like it's farther down, but we're gonna have to find out, because otherwise this isn't gonna be able to sit level. I'm gonna have to cut the grill a little bit farther and then possibly tilt these down some to match up, which I guess it truly wouldn't really matter. I don't know. I'll find out. So I'm going to put a pause on that and then hop back to the rear. I went ahead and tacked those, so those are tight now. I'm going to take the grill off, lower it back down, line up where it goes, measure the true widths, mark my center, measured over, got those marks for the total width of the two end rails as they'd be coming out. I added a 1/4 inch on each side, so therefore I have a little bit of play. And I'm about to cut these out. And then, according to the laser level, when I had the Jeep farther up, I only have to cut up about 1/4 inch. A little bit more probably like 3/8 to a half to make it tight. I'm going to use the air saw, so it's going to get noisy. I'll be back. So I was doing stuff for the night. Got this cut out. I feel like I'm going backwards a lot. Got to figure some stuff out. So to have the back bumper work with that, this will bend down into the bumper and stop here, and the tailgate won't be able to come all the way down. So since I have to add 10 inches to that bumper anyways, I figure I can notch it down like a regular bumper, I guess. Bumper pull with a hitch, so it kind of looks like that. I don't know. I'll figure something out for that. And then I end up coming out here. It's not too drastic, but you can see the difference. I lowered the spec down so it's not too crazy. I can push the grill back in, well, the frame back in a little bit to get where everything was before, where my measurements were at, to try to square everything back up that way. But I'm gonna wait for my buddy that's already done this frame on a jeepster to see how much I have to actually notch the grill for the grill to sit down properly, and to get that as level as possible, which I guess it doesn't really have to be level. So as long as everything's even and square, because all my brackets for everything are going to be custom made, so if I tilt this way, blah blah blah, I can make my bracket shoes square. So I'll figure it out. I'll find a happy medium somewhere. But yeah, everything's looking good for how I want it all set up. But gotta call it a night. A lot to do. So got cleaning up still. But hopefully at least my rear axle will be done tomorrow. I can go scoop that up and roll under. So I can get a little bit farther tomorrow.